What's going on, guys? Multiverse Corrupt here with yet another action figure review video, and today we're having a look at Mortal Kombat 11's Noob Saibot from McFarlane Toys. Starting off this video, guys, we are of course taking a look at the McFarlane packaging, and with it being Mortal Kombat 11, it does have that classic gold and black coloring all over the package with the open face window, Mortal Kombat 11 up top, and Noob Saibot's name at the bottom. Flipping over here at the side, guys, we do see Noob Saibot and MK11 up top. Over here on the back, Mortal Kombat 11, and a beautiful product image of the figure itself in a nice little combat pose, looking awesome. Going down here at the bottom, guys, we do see the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram logo for McFarlane Toys. I suggest giving them a follow because they do post great pictures and other content. Flipping over here on the side, guys, it does say McFarlane Toys up top and Mortal Kombat 11 on the side with a little sickle down here at the bottom. Nothing really going on at the top other than I just broke the hook there, and then down here at the bottom is the barcode for you barcode guys. With all that said, let's go ahead and rip Noob Saibot out of the packaging and take a closer look. So right here, guys, is Noob Saibot out of the packaging, standing on the rotating turntable, and I do think he looks absolutely fantastic. McFarlane Toys did an amazing job taking him from his on-screen appearance and molding him into figure form. Now, unfortunately, Noob did not come with a read-up, so if you don't know much about him, his real name is Bihan. He was the original Sub-Zero and Sub-Zero's brother, but he was unfortunately killed by Scorpion. But he was technically the bad guy in that situation. He was resurrected later on by Quan Chi and granted the powers of darkness, turning him into Noob Saibot, and he now does Quan Chi's bidding, kind of like a master to him. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and take Noob Saibot off of the rotating turntable and take a closer look at the accessories that he came with. When it comes to the accessories, guys, Noob Saibot is at the shallow end of the pool. He does, of course, come with a classic McFarlane stand with Mortal Kombat written across the bottom and the foot peg off to the side. And he does, of course, come with his sickle here. And it does look amazing. There was a lot of love and a lot of detail put into this here. Now, I will say a little side note, I do wish he came with something like we saw with the DC Multiverse's Dead Man. There's a picture right here. See how he has like the possessed ghost figure that came with him? I wish that we would have got the shadow form for Noob Saibot over here. But unfortunately we didn't. So with all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and move away from the accessories and take a closer look at his detail. In terms of detail, guys, we do have Noob Saibot front and center, and starting off with the head sculpt, I freaking love it. I like the dark images that he has all throughout his face, the gold trim in his mask, and even his little hood he has draped over him. Now, I will say a little side note, this is not my favorite suit from Noob Saibot. Here on the screen, guys, I do enjoy his classic look a heck of a lot better than I do enjoy this look. But this one does give us just a bit more detail and a little more parts to play with. Going over here now, guys, to his torso. I like the little silver armor that they painted over his chest that they gave him for this uniform. I like the little trench coat look as well. It really does add a little extra to this guy, especially in a figure form. Going down here to his braces now, guys. His braces are beautifully detailed with a little design in there and some leather straps to hold them on, and it does mirror on the other side as well. Flipping him over here to the back now, guys. Not much at all going on back here. It is a black trench coat, but I would have loved just, some trim. I know he's supposed to be this dark, mysterious, shadowy figure, but just you added trim to the front to some of it. So let's add some trim to the back as well. And it's like that for the entire back side of him. There's nothing going on back here. So this will be the only time we see this, all right? I will say down here at the bottom, going down into his midsection and his legs, I love it. All the way down to the end here, how they just start to rip apart and show the tatter at the bottom. I think it looks amazing. Down here to the boots now, guys. His boots are, of course, solid black as well. Once again, me personally, I would have added a little bit more trim. Just a little. Not too much. Just a little bit more trim. I mean, you already committed to the silver up here and even some of the gold trim up here on his face. So going down here to the legs wouldn't have hurt a single thing. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and zoom out away from the detail and take a closer look at Noob's size, articulation, and the size comparison to other figures. When it comes to how tall Noob stands, guys, this figure does stand at about the 7-inch scale, so he is a classic McFarlane height, and he will stand beautifully with the DC Multiverse figures. Now let's go ahead and get him off of his base here, guys. Move him just a little bit closer to the camera so we can check out that articulation. Starting off with his head articulation, guys, he is on a ball joint, but it doesn't go anywhere because back here, this little lip is glued. I cannot get it to separate, so I'll have to get my X-Acto knife and my little scalpel there and just slice it off. But he would have head articulation if it just wasn't glued. He does, of course, have a little bit of head tilt though, but nothing rotates on him due to the glue back here. His arm articulations go out about that far due to his big shoulder pauldrons up here, and his arms do rotate, but they are blocked again by these shoulder pauldrons. He does, of course, have bicep swivel and double hinged elbows, and his wrist articulation does articulate up and down as well and rotate all the way around. Kind of went off camera there. There we go, rotates all the way around. You see it in all of its beauty. As for his ab crunch, guys, he doesn't crunch forward that much, but he does, of course, crunch all the way back. He does, of course, have some ab swivel and even some waist swivel, but his waist is extremely tight, so note to self, soak him in hot water. When it comes to his legs, guys, his legs do kick out about that far. They don't kick back far enough due to the trench coat back here. And he does, of course, have double hinged knees that I can't get him to do thanks to his trench coat. Let's see if I can get him to do something here. Let's see. Pull it out to here. And double hinged knees. There we are. Maybe he's kneeing somebody in the face. Going down here to his ankle now, guys, his ankle does articulate down about that far and goes up about that far. He does, of course, have some toe articulation. Got a little spider web on me from somewhere. Get off of me. And he does, of course, to finish it off, have ankle pivot. Starting off with the size comparison, guys, here we have Noob Saibot standing next to the Liu Kang that we have seen before on this channel. Go ahead and check it out when you have a chance, but I do think that these two scale together perfectly. Moving out of Outworld and Earth Realm itself into another universe, the DC universe, we have him next to the Dark Knight himself, and they do scale together beautifully. From my perspective here, Batman is just a little bit taller, but for you guys, it looks like they're about the same height. Right here, guys, we have Noob Saibot next to the NECA Toys Warrior Predator, and we've seen Predator in the Mortal Kombat realm before, so I do think that these two scale together beautifully. And last but not least, guys, we have Noob Saibot standing next to the Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic, and it just simply does not work as always, but me personally, I would really like to see a Mortal Kombat and Marvel crossover. We've already seen it with DC. Alrighty, guys, and there you have it. Another action figure review video in the books on my channel for you guys to enjoy. When it comes to my review on this figure, guys, I'm gonna have to give Noob a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think that this figure is absolutely amazing. I love it. It looks borderline perfect. I just would have loved just ever so slight more paint, more trim, and especially in terms of accessories, just a little bit more. His shadow abilities is like his main bread and butter. That is what you use when you are fighting as him. His sickle is very nice, but I also really would have loved a spot to store it. If you look closely in the game, he just sticks it through his torso. So maybe just like a little hole in his back or something where you can just stick the sickle to hold on to it. But with all that said though, guys, I digress. If you did enjoy this video, guys, go ahead and smack the like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Later.
Fatality.